There we go. All right, so welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to our Languages and Careers, How Knowing Another Language Can Benefit Your Career. And again, this isn't someone who needs to be a master's level student. Just having a couple years, even just conversational knowledge of a language is very beneficial. So with us, we have today Archie Heinold, he's the president of AA Solutions. We have Kelsey, and I'm sorry about your last name, Almaguer. It's close. I'm not sure if that's right. From Tarp South.
It's hard.
Sorry?
It's Almaguer. It's a hard one.
Okay. And Lafarge Wholesome. Christy Kraftchick. Where's Christy? Where's Christy? Oh, not yet. Christy may be coming on later when it's about her time. We have Sam Toso, is that right? From Hilti?
Correct. Yep.
And then Mark Simon, unfortunately, could not be with us, but I do have a slide about surface combustion and what they are looking for. So next we have Archie Heinold, a little bit about Archie's company. Founded AA Solutions, which is a software company specializing in developing secure web-based applications for businesses in any industry. Their anchor product is Blitz, sales follow-up software that helps sales teams manage the entire life cycle of leads in real time using online pipelines. And Archie is a former Rocket. Yay! Earned an MBA, MBS, and information systems from the University of Toledo. So let me make you presenter, and we're going to change. And there you go. You should be able to present what you need, whatever you need to.
Sure. Absolutely. No, I appreciate the opportunity to be with everyone today. I'll show my screen here in a minute. Just a little bit about myself here real quick. AA Solutions is a software company, and we have multiple software as a service products. Initially started as a custom software development company, and then we've added multiple SaaS products out there. And what I'm going to target and highlight today is our janitorial manager product, and partly because it really feeds into our topic today, which is around, how important it can be to know other languages can be. And I kind of, like I said, dive into, what it means for us as a company and how, how valuable that really can be. And it's really struck with this particular product of ours that is this janitorial manager product. And I'll kind of, show my screen here quick and jump to it. If you're looking at this particular product here of ours, janitorial manager, it's what it is it's a work management system for commercial cleaning companies as well as for in-house providers, and in-house provider being, for example, a university, like a Toledo and so forth. We have a number of universities on our product. Even the likes of Penn State, for example, that use our product. And what this product is really about, though, is, like I said, it's a work management system. So there's a number of components to it. There's the ability to track your employees, grade job performance. So there's something called inspections. And so if you think about this, it's kind of, if I were in this case, building service contractor. So I'm a company that is going to service a number of companies, and a company could be even, our company, or it could be the University of Toledo, et cetera, that I'm going to clean for them. I need to be able to manage my team. Okay. So if I'm a commercial cleaning company and I send 30 people out tonight in the Toledo area to clean, let's say 20 different buildings tonight, how am I going to get that done? I'm going to have a number of people involved that I got to track. I got to make sure that they show up. I got to make sure that they do their job. I might have people then going on my team to go and grade the performance of the work being done. All of those types of things play into this particular product. And like I said, there's a number of pieces and functions to this particular product. But as it relates to the language side of things, This is really big in this particular industry and this particular product. So we have a number of customers, not only in the US, but outside of the US. And we have to support our product. Okay, so we're going to get companies that call in to our product, and a lot of times their staff is using, multitude of languages. You see a lot Spanish speaking, but this particular product janitorial manager is has got an app associated with it. Okay, so it has translation services. It's multilingual. So as you're even if you're someone that is English speaking, and you need to communicate with a Spanish speaking employee, you can use our app to be able to type in that English message. It'll translate to Spanish, for example, in this particular case, so that you can easily interact. Now, us being on the other side, being ones in which we have to support our customers, right? When we talk to the building service contractor or commercial cleaning company, et cetera, we have to be able to, answer some questions as it relates to, hey, I'm having trouble with this particular, person that's on our staff that's trying to download the app from the Play Store, for example. And so how do we best be able to help talk with them and communicate? And so from a support perspective, it's very important that we have, people that can help support our clients in that manner. Another way it's extremely important, we go to trade shows, so we've done shows in Mexico, we've done Canada, we've got a number of clients even overseas. We haven't done so much trade shows yet. We do a lot of virtual things with Australia and in other places and so forth, but it's important to us as a business that we are able to bring someone that is able to speak these other languages. So when we're at these big shows, and I'll give you an example, even this, I can even show you another tab here of the ISSA, if anybody's familiar with this, but this is a partner of ours. It's a, sets the standard for the cleaning industry here. And so we get to a big show with ISSA, and they have people from all over the country, but also from other countries that are coming in. They're asking questions about our product, and there's language barriers there. We need to be able to represent ourselves to be able to communicate with them. Sometimes they have their own communicator alongside. We even had companies that'll come, and they'll even have their, son or daughter alongside with them to help communicate, for them and everything. And so that's been big. If you can really have a representative on, big for us, if we can have representatives there at trade shows as part of our support staff, that's big. The other ways in which it's very important for us is the fact that, and we were just getting this request, I think even this past week, do you have, the ability, so we have the ability to turn on, like I said, translation and multilingual within our app itself, but we also get requests, do you have materials, marketing materials in those other languages? And so we'll get that request. We've also, even for our partner ISSA, I was going to show here, let's see if I can move this along here. We have within,
Sorry.
excuse me,
Archie, sorry,
Yes.
can you tell me what languages you need? And it looks like you said you need translation for like marketing materials. What are your biggest languages that you need besides Spanish?
Yeah, so I was just about to share that. Yeah, so the other languages that we need, I want to make sure I have them all noted down, because we get requests even to continue to build upon that. So right now, today, obviously Spanish has been big, but French, we get quite a bit. We do have a number of companies, even within not only overseas and different in Europe and other places, but Canada has been big for us, and that French language is big. German, Portuguese, Hindi, Arabic, Greek, and Albanian have been the top ones. We have been getting more and more requests for other languages that we're going to be further adding to our app today. But those are kind of our top ones at the moment. And, I can continue to see that evolve. What I'm trying to also show on this particular screen for ISSA is we built that translator. So there's something called the ability within our software to do what's called work loading. And what that means is, say, for example, you're going to go into a building and you need to estimate what it's going to take in order to clean that building. So you have to note everything as it relates to how many bathrooms are in this place, how many, what is the flooring like, how many conference rooms, all of those types of things have to be loaded into this calculator in order for it to tell you, oh, if you want to clean it this often and you want to this level of cleanliness, you're going to need to, it's going to take this much, in terms of amount of people, amount of cost and everything. And so we've gotten a ton of feedback in terms of getting this whole calculator into other languages. And right now, currently it's only supported in English and now Spanish, but we're doing more of that today, and you can kind of see we have the ability to flip a switch to be able to show it in those other languages, just even with this today. And so, so across the board, and I don't want to take, too much of everybody's time, but, support is big, marketing material is big, sales at trade shows is big to use this language. Request for materials. We even have other concepts, I don't know how much you're able to follow in terms of the program itself, but we have the ability to call in, clock in. So when we have our customers will have the ability to track their employees, and sometimes they need to, outside of the app, be able to call in and clock in for their shift. And when they do that, we've actually even have the ability to translate into other languages that way too. So say, for example, I get on site and I'm going to clean this building. If they don't have a cell phone on to clock in, they can go into the building and call in from that location. And when they do, if they're Spanish speaking, for example, it'll convert everything to Spanish that they're saying. And so it's just another way in which sometimes we need that validated in terms of our product development, you know what I mean? And even, again, support wise, that can be big. And
Okay, so what it sounds like is you're looking for people that can speak the language at trade shows, and also do translation, and proper translation for, say, your app or for any marketing materials that you may have.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so Spanish is the big one. French, you said, German,
Mhm.
and Arabic. Besides the other ones that you mentioned, those are the ones that we teach here. So
Okay.
we do have those available. I did have a couple questions for you real quick before
Sure.
we move on.
Yep.
Do you know another language?
Myself, unfortunately, I don't. I wish I did. I did study a little bit Spanish way back, but it's I'm not. I do. My brother, he lives in Europe and he knows about 7 languages, and I've had him do some things for us over there a little bit. And so that's been helpful, but myself, unfortunately, no.
Okay, all right. Do any employees, if someone were to come to you and get hired and they have another language skill, are there any kind of special benefits or pay that you would offer for someone that has that?
I think, certainly it would help, pay wise. I mean, I think that is something that, we would certainly pay a bit more for that
Okay.
capability. No question about it. And in the fact that I know you, as far as those trade shows are concerned, I think we would, that's something that we would certainly weigh is this person able to be able to to represent us at a trade show and be able to speak those languages. And that's important for us, especially as we're
You know, a
growing.
particular vernacular, a particular kind of language for your business in order to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, thank you, Archie. Any last words?
No, and we're actively looking for, you know, students and alike that to help us in this capacity. It's this not only is our company AA Solutions growing rapidly, but this product is on a very fast course of trajectory here, and so we are getting it's growing at a fast rate, and we're doing more and more, like I said, internationally, and so we'd love the opportunity to be able to speak with people in many different capacities, whether they're, like I said, in the sales side, more on the support side, or even helping us from a marketing perspective. That would be huge.
Okay, great. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Yep.
All right, thank you. All right, and now let's see, moving on. Am I sharing? Let's see if this, hold on. Go to, here we go. All right, Raj. Share, here we go. All right, and screen. So up next, we have Kelsey, HR generalist at TarpStop. And I actually know a lot about TarpStop because my husband and father-in-law are owner operators and they love TarpStop. Big fans of TarpStop. So they make tarpaulins and tarp systems for any type of load someone needs to transport and cover, have their own facilities right here in the USA. I think, where is your nearest one here? Is it in town or?
It's in Perrysburg.
In Perrysburg, okay. Custom fabricate. Their own customers range from owner operators, such as my husband, to large fleets. The most popular product is called a Fast Track. I've seen those on the road too. Those are really neat machines that you guys, some systems that you have there. The rolling tarping system that is installed on a flatbed trailer, Fast Track, rolls back and forth on wheels to allow for faster and easier loading and unloading. And Kelsey is also a former Rocket, and that's a Toledo native. She graduated from UT with a bachelor's degree in marketing and electronic commerce and an MBA with a focus on human resources. Congratulations, that's great. All right, I'll make you a presenter. Do you have something to present?
I don't have anything to share. And not as
Alright.
fancy as Archie.
Can you tell us a little bit about the TarpStop company? Do they have businesses or offices overseas? Do you deal internationally?
So we don't have any businesses or offices overseas. We've got 4 different locations in the Midwest. So we've got our Perrysburg, Ohio location, one near Youngstown, one near Detroit, and one near Chicago. And we've really, in the past, had a big need for somebody who speaks Spanish, especially at our Taylor location. We have a large Spanish-speaking population there that works there. So our plant manager there had to kind of work with someone who had that dual language, who could speak, was fluent in both Spanish and English, to make sure that they were communicating with the guys on the floor to tell them what was needed correctly. And then also to communicate with our customers. So our customer base, like you mentioned, owner operators to people who manage entire fleets. We've got a lot of people who are coming in who are not native English speakers. So we deal a lot with customers who speak Spanish, or they'll speak Russian or Greek or German, something like that, where they have the basics of what they need, and they are trying to communicate with us what they want and what their issue is. And our sales guys have to work kind of pretty hard to mend that bridge there, to cross that bridge, to make sure that there is a connect there between what the customer needs and what we need to do.
Okay. So would it be just sales, customer support, or even like designers, fabricators would need a language?
Yeah, so anybody in any capacity who has any sort of other language, we could use them in whatever department. So we've We have actually a welder fabricator who is fluent in Spanish just from his personal life. His family is from Cuba. So we've had to call him up to the office before to get on the phone with a customer to say, hey, this guy, we can't understand what he needs. Can you try and get through to him? And, not every dialect of Spanish is the same. They don't pronounce things the same. So he's like, I think this is what he's saying. I think this is what he needs, but he's going to come in tomorrow. I scheduled him to come in. So even that little bit of knowing a different language is super helpful in our industry because we do deal with so many people who are not native English speakers.
So would something like having another language be a financial benefit to them? Would that be something that your company would offer?
Definitely, especially for somebody in the sales department. That's something that we would want to recognize, we would want to reward because it is going to be something that's helpful no matter what location we're at to have somebody who speaks another language, especially if it is, like I mentioned, we do a lot of work with people who speak Russian and people who speak Spanish. So I believe those are both languages that you offer at UT.
Well, Spanish we do. Russian we do not, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. It's a really big one. We do have an instructor that speaks Russian. It's fascinating. I think he's a polyglot. He teaches French, but he knows Polish and Russian as well. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
really neat to talk to him. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very much linguistics. All right, so let me ask you, do you know another language?
I
Is
do
there
not.
anything else?
I took Russian and German in high school, and my husband's family speaks a little bit of Spanish, but I don't know anything fluently enough to be of any real help. I can just, adios, and
Yeah,
that's about it.
that's
Yeah.
okay. Besides that one employee that speaks Spanish, do you have any others that speak another language, even if it's not something you can use in your company right now?
No, we don't. So that would definitely be something that would separate somebody coming in from our current workforce. That would definitely make them stand out, make them an asset to us here.
Okay, great, great. So I asked about the benefits. You talked about that one time with a language barrier. Was there any time like if you all do trade shows, like you came here or your company came here to talk to our students, would that be something that you would need in your sales force to go to different locations and talk to other companies at trade shows, things like that?
For sure. So we do participate in a lot of trade shows. We've got the Mid-American Truck Show that's coming up here in the spring. And that's definitely something that would be useful, even if, like I mentioned, this person wasn't in the sales department, maybe they were in marketing or they're in engineering or IT. That would definitely be something that we could utilize somebody with that other language to help us communicate with the customers there. In addition to at any of our branches, on a daily basis, we get customers walking in who don't speak English. So having somebody at the branch, it could be that they could travel around to our different branches and help out with that if that was something that they were willing to do. We're very flexible on that as well. So having that other language would be useful to us in a lot of different ways.
Okay. I just had a thought. You said something about trade shows, and Archie did as well. So I'll pose this to everyone. We can talk about it when I get to you. The trade shows normally run like Thursday to Sunday, right? Something like that, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is there a possibility, if you want to discuss this with your management, that if we have students that are available on the weekends and they want to learn or earn a little extra money, would it be possible for them to go to a trade show and translate? Of course, we know our instructors know the students that know the language the best. Would this be something of interest to you?
That would definitely be something that we would kick around to our sales team and our marketing team. I'm sure it would be something that they were interested in. It would definitely be something that we could work with the student schedule on as well.
Okay, I was just thinking of that because, students are always busy. One, they're going to school, they have homework, they have tests, and then of course they're working as well. If this is something where they can see that I am using the language that I'm learning, and it is a benefit to not just them, but to another company, and it can help them in their career. This is just something that I think would just reinforce to them, and they can tell their fellow students, look what I did, and I got paid for doing this. So,
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any
Definitely.
other final words, Kelsey?
No, just thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I have to run, but good luck
Yes.
to everybody else.
No problem. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay. And Archie, you would be interested in students, like coming, on the weekends to trade shows, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'd definitely be open to that. I know, some of them do carry over the weekend, for sure. And so, yeah, I mean, any of these trips, or even if they find certain time, yeah, we'd definitely be open to that.
Okay, great, great. All right, so next we have, sorry, I gotta go back. Christy Krafchick. She is at Lafarge Wholesome, very large company. You guys do a lot of stuff. You are a global company, more than 80,000 employees. Christy is also a graduate of U Toledo with a BBA specializing in human resources. She's built a career in human resources, working in retail, distribution, wholesale, agriculture, medical device, and building materials. It's her passion to guide and support employees in their career aspirations, coach and mentor HR students, and assist other HR practitioners to achieve certification in the profession. So, Christy, did you have a presentation or something in particular you wanted to discuss?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Can you hear me
Yes.
okay? I was having a bit of
Can you turn it up a little bit
Okay,
on your end? Is that possible? Or I'll see if I can turn up our volume here.
okay. Can you hear me now better?
A little,
A little bit better, huh? It's not
little.
very
Maybe get closer to, sometimes I got to get closer to my microphone.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was using a headset, so like I said, I was making sure that you could hear me okay.
When you got in closer, I could hear you better.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Great.
Well, good, good. Well, thank you for having me. I was just going to share kind of a one slide snapshot so you could see our operation. Let's see if that pops up. Okay.
Sure.
Can you see
Yep.
that?
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a very large footprint in the building materials industry from North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and Africa. So
Wow.
I think one of the things about the organization is that we're always evolving, always, things that happen in the building industry, there's changes. We have um, new investitures, we have divestitures. So people kind of say, well, what is Lafarge Wholesome? And we're rebranding. So it's kind of the nature of a large organization, a lot of change. But yeah, I just wanted to show that as just a way for people to see a little bit about us.
Mhm.
I can probably show you this other slide that talks about the numbers. We have a lot of people in the cement side because it takes a lot of people to make cement at a cement plant. If any of you have seen or heard of a cement plant, the nearest one here is out in Paulding, Ohio. If any of you are familiar out west, near Defiance in that area. And our aggregate business has a lot of operating sites. It might be a smaller aggregate site that has sand and gravel. It might be a quarry. Marblehead, Ohio has a very large quarry that's part of the Lafarge families. And we have a lot of ready mix employees that are taking that product. You'll see a cement truck driving down the street with the rolling cement, liquid cement that's going to be going to a pour that they're going to be doing. It might be a bridge, a road, a project of that sort. So yeah, that was it. I just thought I would show you a little snapshot of our business. I don't need to share.
Well, can you go back to your map that you had there,
Oh,
if you
sure,
would, for a minute?
sure.
So let's see, other than Europe, you're really huge there, and Asia Pacific as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of building going on there, a lot of trading, a lot of
Right.
infrastructure.
Sure. In North America, we're a pretty developed country. Some of these other countries are not so developed, so they may not even have more than sand or stone for a road, right? So here in North America, we are repairing bridges and roads, replacing them, but in those other countries, third world countries and such, that they don't have the roads and the infrastructure. So there's a lot more building going on in those countries.
So in Europe, what would be the primary languages that you would need one of your employees to help with or know going over there?
Any of the local languages is really was what I was going to speak to more so. So whether you're in a Russian company. I heard someone talking about Russian and learning that language and knowing that language for people in those countries. You know, of course, the Spanish is predominant in many of the other countries as well. We don't have really what I would say one language or one primary language, because again, we have people from all these countries. We have employees that transfer internationally, relocate.
Okay.
So I could tell you in the office that I work in, and we have a regional office in Dundee, Michigan, just north of Toledo.
Okay.
There are people from all over the world. I just as late as December had a gentleman come from China, who is now working in our location in Michigan and is working in engineering, but he has worked in China and he's worked in other Asian countries for us. We have people coming back and forth from Canada. So, you know, again, there's French, there's other languages there. And it's really part of our culture is people that have best practices and best, you know, experiences in different countries, things that they're doing to bring to the US, and likewise in the US, best practices going to some of these other countries. So we really embrace people moving around, but it's not for everyone, and we know that. So there are some people that are just as happy staying in one country, one region, and you know, if they are satisfied with that as their profession, then we're good with that too. But when you brought this up, and that, you know, talking about companies that would value multiple languages, we certainly are one, because of the large footprint that we have globally.
Right. And how about in Asia Pacific? What Asian languages are you looking for there?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't speak other languages, so I could not tell you definitively what those languages would be. I,
It
you
looks like there's Chinese there and probably Hindi is one
know,
over there. And I'm trying to
yeah,
think what else is over there. Trying to think. Those are two. Okay. And then the Middle East, Africa, I'm guessing Arabic would be a language that you would need there. Okay.
sure.
Very
Mhm.
good. So I'll ask you some of the same questions. If there was an employee that had another language skill, is that an extra benefit? That's something your company would consider paying for.
I do think it's a value add. I don't know that I would say, you know, if they were going to be in a position to use the language, I would say that that's probably a specialized role. Yes.
Okay.
I can't say that today I know that we have, um, you know, one or a number of positions specifically for that.
Okay.
I think that what we've tried to do is develop a culture where people can contribute because they have this knowledge, this skill set. We want people to feel that they can help doing different things. So whether it's I think you were talking about the example of trade shows and can people help and participate
Yes.
in those? You know, absolutely. If someone has a skill set that would help when you're trying to interact with a customer or a third party vendor or supplier or something, that would be terrific to be able to utilize the skills to help
Okay.
with the
And you
communication.
need translators as well. Archie was talking about translators for marketing materials and things like that.
Um, we haven't specifically had, I guess, a strong need there. And it would probably be more likely to be applicable when we have maybe a customer situation where we have a person who is either delivering materials or trying to sell the product to a customer who may not speak, like for instance, in the US, English is their first language. So we do have some people in sales and in our marketing that can speak more than one language.
Okay, great, great. All right, now do you know another language yourself?
No, I cannot say that I do.
Did
No.
you take any classes in another language?
Only in high school, I took
Okay.
Latin, actually.
Oh my gosh, we offer that
Yeah,
too. It's
that
online.
tells you how old I am, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
But that
Um,
was, I didn't really see myself at that moment, and maybe this is good intel for students today. At that moment, living in this global world that has evolved and changed that we all are in now. So from a student perspective, it's probably your steps ahead in thinking about how another language could help in short and long term future employment opportunities for sure.
and is there a time that you can think of recently where in your business, whether it was you directly or someone you know that needed someone that had another language, and what was it and what was needed, and uh, what became of that situation? Did you have someone available? Did you need to call like a language helpline or have a translator or Google on your phone or something?
Yeah, I've worked for a couple global companies in my last 10, 12 years. So I feel that I've become pretty proficient at understanding maybe not the foreign languages, but the some of the accents and some of the verbiage that people use to communicate. So I feel pretty confident that I have been able to talk with a lot of people that English is not their first language. So, and I have utilized resources in the company, and for instance, in my office, when I was working with this gentleman from China, he actually speaks pretty good English. He studied prior to coming to the US. So his manager is also from outside the US. So he actually has talked to his name is Eugene several times. And so it's interesting. We start usually in those situations with a lot of written communication. So I try to be cognizant in my emails and letters and so forth of using English in a very specific fashion where I try to keep the messaging very simple, straightforward, so that if there's questions, we can talk through them. But again, I try to provide a lot of written detail as well so that they can refer back to it as well.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. So any last words? You have any words of wisdom or something you want to impart to our students? Last thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. I would just say that what you're doing at the university level is great for building that communication with other people, other companies, other countries. I mean, I just think that it's definitely a global world that we, even if your company doesn't have a physical presence in other countries, you're still working along the lines with a lot of different people. And of course, in the U.S., we're a melting pot of all different cultures and languages. So regardless if you work in the United States or outside the United States, you're still going to come across people that do not speak the language. And so it's great to have the skill set and the comfort level of communicating in those cases.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Thank you. All right, and then next we have Samuel. Sam, he has his own presentation. This is a little slide I've made up about Hilti. It was founded in 1941, evolving from a small family startup to a trusted global business. Hilti has offices all over the place: Belgium, Chile, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Spain, to name a few, along with global headquarters located in Liechtenstein. Now, Sam has over 5 years experience with Hilti, starting as a store rep and moving up to his current promotion as store regional manager. He has a bachelor's of business administration from Kent State. So the only non-rocket here, but we won't hold that against you. That's fine. We're glad you're here. So let me make you a presenter so you can go to your presentation. So there you go. Oh, you're all set, Sam.
Is it up?
I don't see it. You would
Okay,
have to
let me
go
try
to
again.
share.
I hit the wrong button.
Share
I
your
got it now.
screen. Ready? Here we go. There it is. Yep.
Cool. Let
Fabulous.
me get so I can see you all. Well, again, thank you for the introduction. I very much appreciate it, and for again inviting me to this opportunity just to speak to some students and kind of just talk about Hilti. I know I have Hilti Group here. Technically, I work for Hilti North America, but I want to at least identify that we are a global company, and the global way that we reference ourselves is the Hilti Group. Again, thank you for the introduction, but I do have just a quick slide plus a fun little picture of what I get to do on sometimes a daily basis. But we play with tools. We're an innovator with inside of, again, the building construction world, but more or less in how you put pieces together. But again, been with Hilti for about 5 years. Started off in one of our Hilti stores in Cleveland, Ohio. Had the chance to move out into what we consider the outside sales role, covering more of your industrial type of facilities like Ford Manufacturing and Lincoln Electric out of Cleveland. And then not too long ago, I had the chance to get promoted into my current role as the store regional manager, which again is, I'm ashamed to say I'm not a University of Toledo grad, but at the same time, I love University of Toledo. I've been recruiting through the university for the past 3 years now. And you look at my repertoire of who I've been able to promote. I've had 6 people from University of Toledo come to my team. They've been promoted into future roles already. And I have current team members still in their store roles and developing as we speak. So progressing on, I do have a little video and hopefully it allows me to play it. We'll find out here.
Okay.
Hold on one second. It doesn't like it for some reason. If it doesn't play, I'm not too worried about it.
Okay.
Let's see. Nope, it doesn't like it right now, so I won't worry about it. But regardless, the premise of the video was just kind of walking through the full breadth of who Hilti is and what impact we have on the world. This slide here kind of helps describe that just as much. Hold on one second, I'm getting an error on my screen. There we go. First off, we're privately held, so we're not traded. There's a trust that we like to call the Hilti Trust, and out of this trust, there's board members, and as opposed to it going up for a publicly traded company, this board have actually individuals who have the Hilti name still, so it's a family-run company, and we like to pride ourselves on that. And a point that I like to just kind of talk about in this slide is the fact that we are a very carrying and performing into culture, and that's because of that family type of environment. Again, as much as we want to talk about performance sales-wise, it's also about the caring and how we help team members grow. But as you can see here, we are 8 years old as far as the business is concerned, operating in over 120 locations we've definitely crossed the 30,000 employee mark a couple years ago, but we're steadily increasing. And what do we do? As I mentioned earlier, obviously we have some tools that we like to play with, but we're really on the cutting edge of products, and most specifically software and services. Most recently, we've made investments into companies like Fieldwire based out of California, really trying to take the services and the software of construction and bring it to today's age. That the construction industry is still the one thing that, unlike manufacturing, for example, that is still behind times when it comes to being proactive with how they go about their business, and still using pen and paper in a lot of circumstances. So Hilti's making that investment to help these organizations, these construction companies, get with the times and start really utilizing their software and services. Beyond that, obviously, we have a lot of different opportunities globally. This next slide is going to kind of help describe what we have, especially in a university platform. If you're in the sophomore, we like to call it sophomore preview days. We have an opportunity for a virtual introduction to Hilti, just to understand who we are, the different departments within inside of the US we have. As you move into your junior year within inside of your university career, you'll have the opportunity to actually apply for an internship program if that's something you're interested in. I'll show you kind of what that encompasses here in a moment. We do also offer co-ops, but again, we've actually have filled these roles, and we don't have any for the rest of this year, but looking for 2023, keep us in mind. And then obviously we're always interviewing and accepting applications for full-time opportunities. The one thing I do want to state, for any country that you're applying for, you do need to have be able to work there, eligible to work there permanently without any type of sponsorship. And again, that goes for all of the Hilti group. Just a quick breath of what the internship program looks like. Again, it's 10 weeks for the US and Canada, 4 months, I'm sorry, 10 weeks for the US, 4 months for Canada. It's project based, meaning you're actually going to be working with your field counterparts, identifying a problem, and your time through that internship is how do we fix that problem. So you're not only talking with your immediate team, but you're really getting to, I mean, the executive management team, engineering, product support, operations, logistics. You're really getting into who Hilti is and how we operate. But beyond that, at the end of the program, you get to present in front of the executive membership board and show them the work you've been able to do throughout the year. It's a really exciting experience. Again, half of my team have come from the internship program at University of Toledo, and usually there's a consideration for a full-time role after graduation. And then finally, for the sophomore preview day, again, this is your chance just to, in a low-risk environment, get to know who Hilti is, what we have to offer, and get a sneak peek at our culture and our future internship programs for yourself. That's the only thing I have for as far as presentations are concerned, and I'm opening up for questions now.
Yeah. So that one, it was not the preview day, the internship program, I think it was. And you said whoever is wanted to work with you permanently has to have, can't have a sponsorship, but should be able to live in that other country. So what other countries would that be? Where are they needed, and what languages do they need?
Great question. Again, this is the entire globe. So obviously we originated from Liechtenstein. So obviously you're the dialect of German and Russian, and I mean that whole European, any of those languages would be very important to have and understand. Obviously, we have individuals that, just like the previous presenter, we have individuals that relocate through those countries as well. So having that English as your first language, you can get by in those countries, but again, having that additional language definitely benefits you in working with inside of those specific countries and positions. In addition to that, I mean, obviously there's Asia, West Pacific. Again, the entire world is where Hilti's at.
So they would need French language. You would need French language.
French, yep.
Arabic.
Anything you can probably name is probably would be beneficial.
Okay, so any of our languages. So we have Chinese that we teach here, French, German, Arabic. We do have Latin. I don't know how well that would
I
work.
do want to say for the US at least, I've talked to some of my peers, some of the languages that we look for, especially in Canada, French is a big one. But for the southern states of the US, we obviously Spanish is. I've had individuals, I know one of your questions is, what does this look like as far as pay? How does this set a team member or individual apart from other candidates?
Yeah.
I had someone tell me today, like, listen, if I had someone who could speak Spanish, I would more or less choose them over any other candidates I had available.
Right. So that is a great benefit to your company for someone
Correct.
to have another language,
And
especially
if there is anyone that speaks Polish, I know we have a need in our Chicago market as well. Chicago
okay.
is really big for
Okay.
someone who can speak Polish.
And then Japanese, would that be an interest as well?
Again, overseas, that there's always the opportunity. I know a lot of our manufacturing facilities are also in those type of Asian environments and countries. So
You would need someone, maybe an engineer that knows another language, or sales support staff, or designers,
Hilti is
manufacturers.
by nature really big into sales. Obviously, we're a direct to market type of company, meaning we don't go through a third party vendor. We manufacture, we sell, we manage the logistical side of things all in house. So having a wide breadth of candidates is very important to Hilti.
Okay, so is that something that would be posted, say, in your any job description that another language is preferred?
Correct. If again, go to hilti.com and there's a careers tab, and it will not only show you what's inside the US, but also what's available globally. And in most circumstances, it will state preferred language, the preferred language that they would like to have someone to possess.
And the trade show question that I brought up about having students go with you that know another language, is that something that your company would be interested in?
Obviously, I think it would be something that I would be interested in. I just don't know, one, logistically, and also based on HR, how we would set that up as far as extending someone a type of part-time role for just translations. But obviously, I think it could be something that we're interested in.
Okay. Do you know another language?
I'd hate to continue the trend, but I do not. But you and I spoke on the phone yesterday, and this is again
Yeah.
why I love working for Hilti, this organization, is because we're always looking for new ways, especially to help increase the culture within inside of the company. And as of recently, the leadership team has been extended a trial where we're piloting something where the leadership can apply to learn a second language, and Hilti is going to be providing that support financially to allow that team member to learn it.
Okay, great. Well, you can send them our way. We got all kinds of languages.
Absolutely.
Come see us. And we do have some that are in the evening and some online as well.
Perfect.
So that'd be great. Do you know of a time when you wished you had someone that knew a language, that you needed someone like at that moment that knew Spanish that would help you translate? Did you have something like that?
Again, there's in the construction world, there's obviously a lot of Spanish speaking individuals, especially in the workforce. So obviously being in one of my Hilti store locations, there's been a multitude of times where we have had Spanish speaking individuals come in, and it definitely would help to have someone who would have that knowledge, or just even to relate what they're trying to look for. I have utilized resources like Google Translate in those circumstances, and it's amazing how much appreciation you get from those individuals for you at least trying to communicate without just using hands and pointing at things.
Yeah, or drawing stickmen or something like that.
Exactly.
Do you have any final thoughts? Any words of wisdom? Something? you
No,
want
I
to
mean, Hilti will be at the career fair in a couple weeks. So feel free. I will be there. Some of my counterparts will be there.
Okay.
Feel free to stop by. I will state for internships for next year or for this upcoming spring, we're actually pretty full on those as well. I don't think we have too many. But again, introduce yourselves. Don't be afraid to come up, say hi, and learn a little bit more about Hilti at that point. And
All right, I may come and see you then too, to introduce myself.
perfect.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, Sam, thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
And I
coming.
do have to drop off. I have speaking of interviews, I have one coming up right now, so I have to go.
Okay,
So thank
great.
you all
Thanks for
your time.
coming. Thank you. All right, and I have last, unfortunately, Service Combustion could not be here, but wanted to give some information about them. Mark Simon is our HR manager. Surface Combustion is a manufacturer of industrial furnaces and heat treating equipment headquartered in Maumee, Ohio, so not far away. We are the global manufacturer single source for atmospheric and vacuum heat treatment furnaces. Surface Combustion offers co-ops and internships as part-time engineers who are interested in building a career, not just looking to fulfill a semester requirement. Your employment at Surface can be maintained during academic semesters, and many of our full-time engineering staff begin as college co-ops. So, furnaces, everybody likes heat, especially at this time of year. So knowing another language, being able to communicate that to someone else is always helpful. And that is it for today, unless we have any questions, anything in the chat someone wants to talk about, wants to go over. We have a chat question. Desiree says, nice to see you again, Sam. And evidently Desiree is going to start. So that's wonderful. All right. Well, thank you to all of our business partners who came here today to talk to us about their businesses and what they're language needs are. This is recorded. We will be posting it to our social media sites as well as also on our website. So those that could not attend will certainly be able to take advantage of the information that was brought today. So thank you all. Thank you, Archie, Desiree,
Absolutely.
Raj, Lucas, Kelly, Jacob, Sam, Desiree was here, and Yamashita Sensei. Thank you. Thank you all for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Goodbye.
weekend.
Good afternoon.
You too.